The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to Kommunity Kerbals Ep9. Happy Friday, and welcome to the stream. I'm here to have some fun. It's all about the numbers, apparently, but I'm here to enjoy myself, and thank you for joining us, those few that have. But, yeah, so where we left off the other day, we had actually, hold on, let me get back to the game here. All right, so where were we last time? On the last episode of Kommunity Kerbals, the three from No Hard Feelings, the NHF crew made history by not only becoming the first to successfully orbit the moon, to land on the moon, to do an extravehicular activity on the moon, but to make it back in one piece, safe and sound. So, truly historic last episode. And we've also proven some amazing designs that will actually help us really go far and, in fact, get quite badass when it comes to the implementation of what we plan to do. So, just a reminder, it is a lazy Friday, and welcoming anyone who wants to call in to hang out and participate in even more history that shall be made today with our alternate reality timeline and Kommunity Kerbals. So Danny in the chat says, it's raining, storming here. I'm basically stuck at home for the day. Please entertain me. Excellent. All right. Well, you had said that you would have liked this game if if you had the chance to play it. And I was just talking to Nicky earlier, and it sounds like he would also be the type of person that would very much enjoy this game. So I hope to show you guys a few more things that will at least help you out if you ever choose to play this game, or just to understand orbital mechanics, which I love, and just have some fun, blowing some shit up. So we're going to resume our save and go right back to our Kommunity Kerbals. Nikki says, true, SC died on the moon, so proof of our superiority. No, SC Steve, I don't believe we didn't make that mestizo faggot. But we have, if we go to our astronaut complex here, we'll see, for some reason it's added a bunch more onto here. This can always be a problem, so we're going to remove this. But, oh, look at this. It actually, for some fucking reason, it restored. See, this is a problem with the game. Okay, this is clearly a problem with the game. These individuals here died. They should be under lost. And for some reason, they've been restored. Not cool. So, let's get rid of some of these people here, because they shouldn't even be here. Look at the fucking huge amount of fucking... This is retarded. Look at all these people here. And it looks like this particular version's messing up because you delete a bunch of them and then it just restores a bunch more. It wants a certain number, I guess. Regardless, we're gonna stack our what's it called? Our roster here with the people that we need. So let's see here. We're going to create a bunch of people. We're going to create YR. He is a pilot because he does try to lead things around. He's got some courage, but he's stupid. Not too stupid, though. And I guess he is a veteran of this community, so we'll give him that. But we'll give him more stupidity because he is stupid. All right. Now, let's see here. What's up, Ronald Booth? Happy Friday. We're going to say Ford for J.R. Ford III because he's been around. Actually, no, hold on. We still got to get this Misfit crew here. So, yeah, there's Tony from Revere. And he's more of a scientist than anything else, mixing up all that weed and shit. And I'll give him some courage. He talks big, but that's very stupid of him. He's stupid. He's definitely not the second smartest man in the community. Well, I don't know if he's that stupid. That's pushing it. And there you go. He's stupid, but not that stupid. And he's got chutzpah. But obviously, when confronted by superior specimens like myself, he will acquiesce. So yeah, I think that's good. He's definitely not a badass, nor is he a veteran. I don't know. Should it be Tony Revere? No, I hate adding more names into this because it already adds the Kerman last name, and I'd have to get into the registry to fucking change the names so that I could actually change to whatever I want, but the problem is that I'd have to get into the registry first to do that. So too much work for now. So fuck that. So Tony the Scientist will be created. Now we're gonna make Keith. And he's a male, and I don't know. What's up, Chad? Yeah, we're gonna build up a badass team of the viewers in here, like Chad and Ronald Booth, J.R. Ford III, Dan MT. We'll get you guys a good mission and such. Actually, Danny MT is going to be part of the secret space program, the military. Military aspect of it. So he's going to be one of the Marines that are going to be equipped with certain equipment. Yes, I repeat myself. And he's going to be on that squad. So VP is going to be on that squad too because he's involved in that sort of thing. So we're going to make an elite crack team of space commandos. All right, so we got to make Keith. He's got some courage. I'll give him that. He's also got chutzpah, because he is part of the tribe there, and yeah, he's fairly dim-witted. I mean, he's not fully stupid. He's cognizant of what he does, but he's also got very bad judgment. So. Courage. Oh, he's got some courage. Well, he's been gaining more courage actually as of late, and not really. Veteran compared to Tony, he would be because he's been around way longer than Tony. I mean that's an insult on its own. So I'm gonna have to give him that. I mean, he's not as veteran as I am, for example, but I mean that alone goes to show that he is definitely much more of a vet than Tony, which again should be like salt to the wound. So there you go, Keith. You get to be a veteran scientist. And, well, I don't want to sully my computer with SE Steve, but SE Steve will need to suffer. And he'll need to be put on some sort of mission. But we have to first figure out why some of these motherfuckers aren't dying. So we're going to have to figure that out and fix it. And as always, let's see who else, because they're gonna fill them up in here. Let's make because here's the thing: on this episode, we've already got these veterans here. They have actually completed the missions that were aforementioned. But we got to get back to the moon. We've got to establish some sort of base on the moon. And we have to establish a space station in orbit, low Earth orbit. So, timeline-wise, Apollo goes to the moon, and in the normal timeline, that was it, basically. You know, once they finished Apollo 17, it was it. They were supposed to actually establish bases after Apollo 20 that were going to be eventually permanently manned, but obviously that never went through. And from there, they went to low Earth orbit, something that is very questionable, but they went to low Earth orbit and established Skylab, and that was their orbital base. But in the past, for example, in the 1960s, they were thinking of setting up what was called the Manned Orbital Laboratory, MOL, and it was an Air Force space station specifically made for spying. And that is this whole cover program that was set up for it to try to trick the world into thinking it was just for scientific purposes. Russia did exactly the same thing. That was their Salyut and Almaz. Salyut was first, Almaz came later. Space stations, which again, same thing. Oh, it is for scientific work, comrade. And meanwhile, it's like pure fucking manned spy station, and they even the Salyut, was it Salyut? No, it was Almaz. Almaz actually tested out a machine gun in space, an anti everything. I think it was 50 caliber, but anti cannon. So it could be focused on a satellite, focused on another craft. ICBM, anything, and there is the potential that a laser was actually fired from this station, as well as potentially from the shuttle and from other experiments in orbit. But again, this whole Star Wars, space defense initiative. So there's some really cool things there when it comes to what could have been. But speaking of what could have been, we've got to decide now, because the moon is a very good place to establish themselves, and I want to get us to that anomaly, the arch, as I talked about it. So I think that we can utilize an expendable crew, because if we fail, then hey, it's not too bad. But we don't want to fully. I mean, we want to at least get there. If they can't get off the moon, then we might need to do a rescue mission. So let's get out of here. Let's go to the vehicle assembly building. Now we've already established a very amazing working model here, which is the Clout 11. And it is mounted. This is actually, we're going to have to resave this. The Clout 11 was the mission name. But it is basically this lander, well, the lander and the orbiter mounted to what we call what did we call it? The Joule 5 rocket. And this motherfucker can take us quite a far ways. So, let's see what we can load in here. These guys already did their thing. Fuck you, Bird and D. Welsh. You guys should be dead. There's YR, so we're going to put him in there. There's Tony Kerman. And we're going to put Keith as well. Where's Keith? There he is. Well, I made Keith a scientist. I guess that works. He's not really... I guess he should have been a tourist. But, well, he's still more capable than Bullfrog, who would definitely be a tourist. So, yeah, let's do that then. This mission will be called, we'll call it Clout 12. And we'll launch it. So our mission here is to get these guys to the arch. This will essentially establish a point where a base will be established in the future as the moon gets colonized. So we've got SAS on, and since it is nighttime, we will do a little time warp here. There goes the moon. All right. So if we take a look here in the internals, we've got YR who's piloting the craft. He looks over and he sees Keith. As always, Keith never blinking. Yeah. I mean, what? I mean, yeah. And then he looks over and he sees one of the most annoying individuals in the community, Tony from the rear. Tony's saying, all I want to do is just interrupt everyone and play piano over everyone. You know, because I know about veganism after literally living my entire life eating garbage. But hey, after getting into a life-altering situation, I know more about health than other people. And Wire's like, I don't give a fuck about what you're saying. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I gotta launch this rocket here and look at all these buttons. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Tony? Tony. Stop. What? Ripping pissed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Keith? Come on, Keith, blink, Keith. Come on, Keith. Blink, Keith. Come on, Keith, blink. Keith, come on, Keith, blink. YR, can you, leave me the fuck alone? I'm, imagining what it would be if I was 12 years old again. Yeah. 12. Well, if you ask me, guys, hold on, let me just put on my voice changer.
Now, if you ask me, guys, I want to play some piano and interrupt somebody, so if somebody could talk, I could talk over you. And, you know, oh, let me do a stab here. Oh, man, I'm so high.
Diddle-a-doon. 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 God damn it, Tony. Can you stop? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Come on, stop. It's time to launch the rocket. All right, so now that the crew has finally sort of figured out what's going on, SAS has been activated. And before we do, I just want to say this launch is sponsored by Clout Chasers. That's right. If you're like any of these gentlemen here, except for maybe Keith, in the launch tower, then you're thirsty, very thirsty for clout. And the only thing that can help you is the Clout Chasers microwavable dinner. That's right. It's made of absolute fake meat and especially geared towards pompous, ignorant assholes, especially the ones who think they know about health. So be sure to go to your nearest overpaid Whole Foods and ask them for Clout Chasers, the delicious and overpriced microwavable meal. Chad says he knows more about everything than anyone. The all-seen, knowing Tony. The all-seen, all-knowing Tony. That's hilarious. In fact, I think back to the skit that Johnny Carson did with the fucking headdress and stuff. And, dude, I could totally see Tony do that. All right, so we're just about ready to launch now to the moon. We've got these three misfits ready to go. And the control tower is receiving multiple calls from Bullfrog, who says that he only called 7 times and demands to be put on this flight. But you have to have a certain IQ to be allowed, around this very important and delicate equipment. So that being said, let's check out our orbits. Where's the moon? The moon is basically almost overhead. Well, not overhead. It's it is at our 4 o'clock. Just about. So what we're going to do is obviously we're going to require a at least one orbit to get into position. So that's what we're going to do. So Nikki Nines in the chat says, Tony DePussy doesn't know shit. Well, weed. I don't know, maybe that needs commas and stuff. But all right, so let's get this show on the road here. These boys need to get to the arch. So in 5, 4, 3, 2. I think I left my microwave on. 1. No, come on, Ken. Somebody turn off my microwave. I'm making conchitas. Whatever the fuck it is that I make in the oven. Things are looking good. We got to remember to start rotating quick. This motherfucker, this rocket here is extremely powerful, and we'll get our apoapsis exactly where we need very quickly, and we don't want to waste that. What's up, Inspector Todd? Well, the stream isn't over yet, so I don't know how you can say another great stream. Logic, schmogic. Okay, so now we're getting close to 10 kilometers, so we want to approach that 90 angle here. We're still going through a fair bit amount of the atmosphere. We've got to be mindful of that, as well as how much fuel we are consuming here. We want to eject those as soon as possible. Should be going a little further. Just think about somebody actually in one of these capsules that needs to be managing all these different components and stuff, especially in the older days. Stop at 102. We still have half of our fuel left over in this huge motherfucking tank here, and then we're gonna have this. So technically, this rocket could probably get us. I'm not gonna say it could get us all the way to Mars, but it could definitely get us quite far. This is a very good overly designed rocket. Back to the chat here. Nikki Nine says, "Hey YR," I don't see YR in the chat. Inspector Todd says, "How can I be YR when he took my wrench away? I was top patron, and he took my wrench. Idiot, now he only has one Patreon. Keep burning bridges, YR." All right, so let's take a look at where we are. So We got about 1 minute 30 seconds or so. Let's add a maneuver. So we're going to do this a lot more professional as we've been doing it previously, which is just hard and dirty. Apoapsis. Come on, asshole. You can't do that to me. No. 173. We can adjust that. Come on. Apoapsis 103. 102. Perfect. That's what we want. Focus on target. There's a good chance that, yeah, this might be able to get to Mars. Because that would be for in total Mars insertion. This can get us out of Kerbin Sphere of Influence. This is really, really well engineered. I mean, technically, I could pop a base on here, a moon base, and fly this thing to the moon, have the moon base portion land, and then have this portion land. I'm very proud of what I accomplished. And you should be too, because you're watching this and you're part of the community. And who knows, maybe your Kerbin analog, or Kerbal analog, will soon make history as well. All right, so let us now get this down to 0. Are having some fun there. I mean, we're basically there. 103, 102. So we can cancel what remains, really. But we have a substantial amount of fuel left over, and the problem is that this has still got a heavy ass, so we don't really want to use our monopropellant too much to get this stabilized. So, hold on a second here. Let's... just want to stop the spin. Just slow it down a bit. Extend our solar panels. All right. The boys are in orbit. And we're going to see how well they're going to fare. So we want to put them into prograde. And we want to look at our map. So the moon is... Where's the fucking moon? To our backs. There it is. So it's that way. We're going to have to wait for a full orbit. And then once we're about here, when we see the moon appear over the horizon, we're going to fire off towards it. So we're going to do a little time warp. Let's do the time warp again. Yeah, this fucking rocket's going to help us. We're going to be able to launch a nice big space station into orbit. We're going to be able to, potentially put a space plane on top. That was an alternate design for the shuttle. is to either mount it on the side or on the top. And because they would basically, and this would have been smarter, to continue to reuse the Saturn V manufacturing facilities, because the more, and this is just simple economics, people, the more you produce of a product, the first prototype you produce is stupidly expensive. Then you produce the first item from the line. That's still considered super expensive. Once you've built your 1,000th, your price point starts to come down huge. So eventually, once you start to create a manufacturing line that is constantly creating these things, you have all the necessary integration necessary to allow for materials to be produced, integrated, manufactured, and so forth. And yeah, you could basically make it very affordable to do space flight in this, what we need to call a very primitive manner. Because using chemical rockets in this day and age literally is like caveman trying to use a computer. Actually, that's not the best analogy. More like trying to utilize caveman agriculture for current climate situations. All right, so we got to get this to the other side of the planet. So we're going to land Tony, Wire, and Keith onto the moon. And we know that there's some more cloud chasers out there like SE Steve and Bullfrog. So they might try to make it to this base or to the landing zone. And yeah, we'll see what kind of shenanigans they get into. And the other day I was actually playing around with nuclear-powered spacecraft. So that should be cool. Also, that reminds me I need to install the anti-gravity plugin that will allow us to make a UFO. All right, so we want to be pointing in prograde. So the problem with being on the dark side of a planet is it's very difficult to see what direction you're facing. And this is also going to be a challenge because we're not really going to see the moon very well. We're going to have to calculate this then. Should be able to see it now. Well, I've done this before. It's just not the easiest to see the moon. Well, we're coming into daybreak here. We should be able to get a better view. Yeah, it hasn't breached the surface. So we should be able to get a clear view of it once it rises. Interesting. So where the fuck is the moon? Technically, should be in front of us, but I don't see it. Oh, well, we're going to have to go for another orbit then. All right, well, now we should see it basically, so. Let's try a maneuver. So, the moon's there. I guess, and it'll be here. Add maneuver. Okay, apoapsis, periapsis to the moon, 684. 43. Let's do a little less. 100, no. 48. 86. All right, great. That's what we're going to do. So we have a maneuver now. In about a minute or so, 50 seconds. And we're just going to prepare ourselves here. Get the rocket into position. So we still have a substantial amount of fuel in this section here. And then we have our insertion portion here, which is still it's gonna allow us actually to really narrow down exactly where we're gonna find the arch. So we've got a lot of margin to deal with. And then we've got our lander here, which will get us where we need to. So we're gonna start the burn. Watch this here. This also gives us a good idea as to whether or not this rocket, as it currently is, can fully get us there. It's that section. Okay, so this one not. So what we're going to do is eject this. And move ourselves in front of this. All right. We're getting nice and close. Got a very low throttle right now. Sorry, I'm not talking too much while I'm doing this. I'm using RCS to just try to get as close as possible. Three, and 2.1. There we go. 0. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our craft here. We've got it almost fully fueled. We're leaving our old piece behind there, which unfortunately is now stuck in a very large orbit. It's too far away for us to go to. That's fine. So now we are headed towards the moon. And these 3 brave, well, they're not really brave, but these gentlemen, well, they're not really gentlemen, these males are on their way to try to find the legendary arch that exists on the moon. Obviously, we've got Stoner Tony, who is, just like, he's actually identical to Jesse, but he just has working hips, and those hips don't lie. But he's into the hippy dippy shit, so he's going to definitely be, doing some sort of patchouli, ceremony at the foot of the arch, and he's going to be, smoking the dope through his helmet and all that shit. So you can expect that sort of thing. But YR just wants to do it for the clout. And after all, remember, this launch is sponsored by Clout Chasers, the delicious, easy-to-make microwave meal for all those that need to satisfy and satiate their desire for clout. So now we're on our way. We're falling down towards the moon, as they used to say. Because we're falling down towards its sphere of influence. So let's do a little time warp here. Speed things up. As you can see, the moon is slowly coming into orbit. And bam. Alright, so now, as you can see, we're falling into the moon's orbit. Periapsis here at 142. What we're going to do is we're going to point in the retrograde direction. Where's the moon? The moon. There's the moon. Hidden away. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce this periapsis here for a lower orbit, and then once we're here, we're going to pull it all in and give ourselves a nice stable orbit, at which point we will adjust our inclination so that we can try to fly over the site of the arch. There are several arches on the moon, and the primary one that we're going for should be the easiest to find. So let's see what we can do here about minimizing. There we go, 127. See if I can reduce it any more. I want to take it easy. There we go. 101 is good with me. And we're going to have to adjust our inclination because we're coming in from the south. So here's where we do our orbital maneuvers. First of all, we want to get this to pull in here. So at this point, nope, sorry, we do retrograde. Okay, so we want to get that down. Now this side here is at 101. This is at 121. Okay, 101, 92. Perfect. That's way above, more than we need, but it gives us a good ample view. Now, obviously, we're coming in on an angle here. We need this on the equatorial. So, oops, let's get back here. Let's get this as even as possible. Now what we're trying to do, well, close enough. Nope, the other way. Nope, it's not what we wanted. Well, we're going to cancel this, and we're going to do the maneuver again. We have about 1 hour in game time, but still it's, let me make sure. Yeah. Even in game time, it's still, faster than this, but it gives us the time to really refine our maneuver here. So we want to bring this in. Okay, so 101, 45, nope. We want a little bit bigger. 74, 83, 101, good enough. And we want to, no, that's not what we want. 103, 83. And that's, damn it. I gotta get a new mouse. Fuck it. I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna get a nice stable orbit first. $105, $90, $104, $88. Perfect. We'll go with that for now. And then when we're, and the angle doesn't seem to be too bad because that, I believe, hold on, if we can just see the crater here. The arch should be somewhere on this dark side, and I can't see it, but that's fine. The angle should allow us to actually probably come over it or close to it. Regardless, let us now do a little time warp. Okay, so I'm going to wait until this is about a minute. All right, so we want to get ourselves directed towards the target. We have about 30 seconds left because we always want to do the burn at least 10 seconds prior. Once we find this, actually, I think it's right here. Yes, it is. That's where it is. Right there. That's where it's supposed to be. So we're going to adjust our orbit once we're ready to go here. So we got about 5 seconds left. About 9-second burn, and here we go. There we go. Beautiful. Another perfect insertion. And that's what she said. All right. So I'm going to do a quick save here. Shift F5. Whoops. No, that's not what I wanted. Let's take a preemptive step here and disable this engine for now. Let's try that again. Shift F5. Oh, that's right. This keyboard is fucking up. Give me a second. And we're going to call this Misfits in Orbit. All right. So shout out to the 9 viewers in the chat. I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but hey, if you're here, I hope you enjoy it. Now, the next step is we are going to do a little bit of a time warp here to see if we can get this portion right here into sunlight. Now, our orbital angle is quite good. It would take it over the location. You know, once it hits the sun. So I'm just going to have to bear with this here. Doing a little time warp. As the thing is, though, with when you're too close to the surface of the planet, so if your orbit as it is at a certain altitude, you can't fast forward. You can't time warp more than a certain amount of speed. Also very cool is that you see that every time it comes out from behind the moon, it's able to transmit to the stations on Earth, but as soon as it goes behind there, it's unable to do so. So that little green line there indicates line of sight radio contact. So if you have a group of satellites around the moon, no matter where this thing is on the surface, it hits that, and these things are transmitting to Earth. So it's really cool, which allows you to control certain rovers and stuff if they need to be controlled from the ground and can't be controlled manually. Or autonomously, I should say. So let's see now. Where are we? Okay, so it's now coming more into light. Perfect. So on the next orbit, we're going to actually look from the craft itself. And we're going to see if we can observe the anomaly. So it's been 2 days since these boys have launched. All right, so let's take a look at the surface. Where'd the moon go? Okay, so right now the light is still very limiting in regards to seeing where this thing is. But it should be here, right up there. So what I want to do is I want to change the normal. So I want this to go higher, or rotate it. Oh, it's out of roof. Fuel. Perfect. Perfect. So now, by doing this right about there, one more, this should now give us a good, maybe a little bit more. There. Perfect. This should give us a good overflight of the location, although the altitude will be fairly high. We should be able to see it from orbit, and on the next round, reduce our apoapsis so that we'll come down perfectly close. So let's go back here and do a little time warp. So we should be noticing it somewhere up here at the top of this this ridge, this crater, I should say. So when we're about here, we should be able to see it. And as we await a little further movement here, I did allude to that new show that I will be starting soon, in the same vein as Darkroom and Darker Things. So expect that in the next couple of days, so that we shall resume our conversations on the paranormal and the mysterious and the unknown. And yeah, it should be good, because there's a lot to talk about. And considering they're going to be passing a new law in Canada soon, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to talk about these things. So, let's see here. We have fuel, but we want to make sure that we can land with this, and we want to utilize it as efficiently as possible. So this structure is supposed to be somewhere here on this upper rim. As we get closer, we should be able to get a better view. Now I can't really see anything from here. But what we're going to do is we're going to wait. Actually, what we're going to do is on this other side. Okay, so directly opposite, we're going to add a maneuver, reduce the apoapsis. What is that? 27? No. Apoapsis to 60. That's a little bit better. And that's in 28 minutes. So so about 40 seconds, point towards our target. "30 seconds. About a burn time. It says the burn time's like nothing, so we'll see. It's obviously more than 0.8 seconds. But... fuck! I pressed the Windows key by mistake. Okay, so 60 and 28. I can make it work. Still, 27 isn't too bad. I like to stay above that, but let's just time warp. Little prograde here. Increase our altitude to 36. Periapsis altitude 36 and 52. 40 is good enough for me. 50 is good. All right, so now we're going to, obviously our location's a little higher now, but we can adjust that. Well, let's take a look to see if we can see the anomaly. And usually, because it's so big, you should be able to see it from orbit. It's supposed to be somewhere here. Wonder if it's that. Quite some distance away from where it could be. Fuck it. Let's see here. What are we at? 48. We're going one more spin, and then we're going to bring ourselves down as much as possible. And yeah. Okay, so first things first, we want to bring it radial up, I guess. Nope, radial down. All right. No, radial up. I don't like this. And oops. Fuck. Okay, so what do we got here? Periapsis at 6 kilometers, and yeah, will give us not the best berth, but a close location to it. Let's see if maybe I can adjust this. I want to get this orbit down here. Nope. Ugh, fuck. All right, new strategy. Let's see here. $32, $22, $3. $15. We're going to go for it. All right, so it says we got 23 minutes. Let's do a little time warp. All right, so we're just about ready to go. We're going to be landing essentially on the moon. The 3 misfits, the troll, the pedo, and the cloud chaser. And here we go. Another perfect insertion. All right, so I'm going to put our gear down. I said we're going to put our gear down. And we've got about 25 minutes before we reach that altitude. And even at that altitude, because there's no atmosphere, we should, unless we hit a mountain, we should just be able to continue to go back into the orbit. But the plan is basically to find ourselves a nice landing site and hopefully land as close as possible to the anomaly, which is the arch. So while we await that, we have the ability not just for me to roll a joint now, but for us to potentially adjust our orbit, because as you can see, we want to be at the lip of this crater, and we are quite off. So we need to create a maneuver that's going to essentially move that section down. So let's see here. Nope, we want anti-normal. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so our maneuver is in 1 minute. 3-second burn, supposedly. That's like Microsoft time. It's always false. Some of you whippersnappers don't even know what that is. That's fine. So we're going to get ourselves into target position. And after this, after we get these gentlemen to finally find this top secret location, we're going to build the first section of our new space station. Eventually to become a refueling station for higher orbit and Mars travel. All right, so 10 seconds ready to burn. Let's get ready to do this here. 3 seconds, but that's fine. And as always, going insertion for that. Perfect insertion. All right, so we are now currently on the unlit side of the moon. And we're just going to wait for ourselves to come out onto the light side so that we can then finally land and bring these three clout-chasing bastards, or these two clout-chasing bastards and the guy that doesn't blink onto the surface of the moon. Because after all, the community space program is equal opportunity, and we allow both geniuses and absolute fucking retards in. However, the retards need to get their own insurance. And I hope everyone here today is having a great Friday afternoon. So let's do a little time warp here. All right, so we're going to still be flying fairly high up here, but let's see if maybe we can at least spot it this time, I should say. It's supposed to be up here. We want to go retrograde. Oh, it's 27 now. See if I can fix this. I want to get us a little lower. There we go, perfect. I don't like to do these bursts, big bursts of fucking fuel, but it's what we need. And I don't know why we don't see it, but we should be able to see this thing from here. Let's see if we do this. But once I find this motherfucker, I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised. Plus, that's where the base will be. After all, we need to have a special space base at the location of the anomaly, just like in 2001, A Space Odyssey. Either way, we're landing on this round here. Somewhere in this area, that's where we're going to land. Thought we would have been able to see it. All right. So now we have eliminated a lot of our surface speed, and we are now heading towards that lip there. So we want do we want radial out. Trying to move ourselves a bit. A lot of craters here. So we are now about 24 kilometers from the surface. Still a substantial amount of fuel left over. Unfortunately, we did not locate the anomaly. Although we will not stop looking. Oh, there it is. Hold on. There it is. There it is, people. Look at that. I would say that I'm at 98% accuracy. And considering the space is, you know, in this, space is big, that actually translates to a 99.999 percentile. Exactly like my intelligence, to be quite honest. So, let us rejoice in the Dave and in the ways of Dave. Amen. So as we reduce our speed here and head towards this particular landing site. Oops, fuck it. This isn't the best location here, so what we're going to do is... No, the other way. Fuck. Okay, so monopropellant. Trying to get ourselves into a better spot. I don't want to land on this fucking cliffside here. Fuel though. Fuck. Alright, well, we've got enough to land. Just gotta be very careful. At least we got onto a nice edge here. Or ledge, I should say. Close enough to the anomaly. Fuck. Come on. No. I don't accept this. I don't accept this at all. That was supposed to go flawlessly. So here we go again. At least we can confirm that the fucking that the anomaly is where it's supposed to be. I should have done a quick save earlier. Yes, I'm not too pleased about that. And yes, I'm not too pleased about how that shit fucked up just a second ago, but failure is not an option in this. And yes, they're all a bunch of scumbags, but I'd rather they be stranded on the moon than killed. Come on, Ken. It's unbelievable, Ken. I mean, you killed us, Ken. You killed us. But what we're doing now is we're also going to save some fucking time and fuel by just waiting till we get the crater into the proper sunlight where we don't have to keep worrying about if we can see it properly, align our orbit, and then get us good to go. So yes, you're right to laugh at me and my orbital maneuver failures. Also, on a side note, I hope once I do get this this new show on conspiracies and all that, and you know I hate using that word, but that's the word that seems to be associated with it, to finally get the Streamlabs stuff going, so that people can get their say, make their donations, and all that sort of thing, because people have been, you know, asking for that for a while. And I'm not going to lie, it definitely helps. But, yeah, I got to learn the whole OBS thing sort of over again, because from what I've seen, Streamlabs is similar, but there's the learning curve, and there's problems and challenges and shit like that, so. But we're going to get these guys onto the moon. We're going to get them there to set up their base at the anomaly. And eventually we'll start to send components to that location specifically for the future moon base. But that will be eventually. And guys, I definitely do recommend that you check out that series For All Mankind. I very much enjoyed it myself. I didn't watch the last 2 episodes of this last season. I did read up on them. I wasn't too pleased. You know me, stickler, nerd, all that. I wasn't too pleased on some of the stuff in season 2. So, yeah, I mean, there's just nitpicky shit. But other than that, it's just really cool. It's a really good show. Great way to see how it could have been. And, yeah, the technology that you can see there is just really cool. All right, so it was basically here, I believe. I think that's where it was. We're basically flying over it, so we can... No, stop. Oh, that's right, I gotta activate the engine. So we've got a lot of fuel in this stage. We know where it is now. And we've got a lot of fuck around with. Okay, so... want to go normal, I believe. Yep. Perfect. And we want to go radial out, right? Come on. Perfect. There we go. There's a little skip there. All right, so we are heading down now. We want to be pointing in the, I guess, retrograde. Actually, no, let's just leave it stability assist for now. We are coming down somewhere here. And we got a lot of fuel in here that will let us essentially prevent ourselves from crashing and boost ourselves back into orbit if we need to. But we're going to get Wire and Keith and Tony onto the planet. And yeah, they're going to make a milestone. They're actually going to be allowed to go to this special location. Again, it should be a classified location where the military's locked it down, but they chose these yokels here to do it. So maybe just they thought, you know, if there was aliens there, these guys would die first, and it would be an acceptable loss sort of thing, you know, expendable. So we are now at an altitude of 91 kilometers and descending. And actually, we might be far off. We might not be where we're supposed to be going. So, what we're going to do is play by hand and do what the real cowboys do in space. That's where we want to go. Now, retrograde and pull it in. And we pull it in. Pull it in. And a little bit of some normal. Let's give some. Yeah, baby, I want some normal. Still at an altitude of 83 kilometers. Bam! Look how quick that was. So, I think we're going to need to bring it down a bit. I want to overshoot this. I want to go to there. Okay, so now we want to hop. Radial out. I want to try to get this over here. Yes, exactly. Reason being is that we know that the location is somewhere here. It's somewhere here. I can't remember which one it was. We should be able to see it from orbit, but we might not. Regardless, is that we've got enough fuel in this section here, apart from our landing section, that will at least allow us to slow down sufficiently and to alter our course in case we're going to need to, which we will. But as long as we're flying over the area that we intend to land on, we should be able to figure out exactly where it is that we need to land. Because again, it was actually a lot smaller than I remember in previous versions. So when we finally found it, it was it was a surprise. So let's just do a little time warp here. Speed it back there. Bring it back to normal. The thing was that what we did is we saw it in one of these canyons here. It was on the lip. And I remember it was close to this. Okay, so we're at 28 kilometers now. Trying to reduce as much velocity as possible so that we can just float down. There it is. There it is. There it is. Dude, now it's like almost 100% accuracy. Look at that. Look at motherfucking that. Okay, so now we're going to do a quick save. And this will be called Landing Misfits. Fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful. So now what we're going to do is we are about 16 kilometers up. We're going to reduce our speed and try to jettison this section here. Still at 13 kilometers up. Almost ready to jettison. Okay, perfect. Eject. Oof. That's concerning. So we've activated our engines. Our stage, or second final stage is now falling towards the surface. Looks like Keith's having his fun there. Tony's weirded out. Wire's like, yeah, can. God damn it, can. And it is looking like a beautiful day to make history, gentlemen. A beautiful day to make history. As we proceed down towards the fabled arch that our scientists always knew that existed according to the ancient scrolls, we now have the three misfits making their way down to the planet's surface. And this is actually quite different from previous versions. This is actually on the lip of this crater as opposed to the big one, which is just over here. And obviously much bigger than all of these. But we're now, that tells us we're about 2.6 kilometers up. This says 6. So what that tells us is that although our radar is telling us a certain distance, sorry. Yeah, I'm just saying that just because we're being told one thing, it doesn't mean that it's the exact thing. There we go. So we need to I don't want to get us too close to that lip. Good, good. Now we're heading closer into the crater, and we're able to control our descent much better. But we may end up getting onto a very steep aspect of the crater here. This is still fucking flying off there. No! If I can move us. Oh, come on. No, not taking it. We're getting these boys to fucking land. Simple as that. We're landing these fuckers on the moon, and we're landing these fuckers on the moon. Safe and sound. I don't give a fuck. Also, if it wasn't for those fuck-ups, that would have been a perfect landing. I found it even quicker this time. Perfect alignment. And once this is done, I'm doing the space station. That's going to be obviously a lot easier. But this requires a little bit of finesse. I'm a tenacious bastard who's going to get my fucking way. Good thing is, though, that the orbital plane that I inserted into the moon's orbit with the moon's orbit allows me to just instead of having to adjust the the orbit any further, I just wait for the planet to move into location. So a few more orbits and this crater here, which is where we need to be, will finally be in position. Just about ready. All right. I'll do one more bit. Should have done it on the previous one. Oh well. First off, we want to point towards anti-normal. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to put ourselves into the retrograde. Fire in retrograde, and we should fly over where we need to be. We should see it. I think we have to go a little further, so that means we want to go radial out. Essentially called puddle hopping. Just pushes us further. And now this should give us a good view of as we proceed downwards towards the surface of the planet. The anomaly and the arch. And again, I do apologize that this isn't always the most exciting aspect of this, but it is part of it. It has to be done. We're currently at an altitude of 38 kilometers, pointing towards the radial out, in case we need to increase our descent here. So we're going to go hit retrograde. I think we're off this time in regards to the anomaly. Should be basically right below us. There it is. Yes! Yes again! Jeez, man, I'm fucking good. Look at that. How are you supposed to fucking see that shit? Alright, so we're going to be landing over there. What we want to do is we want to reduce our speed and potentially aim ourselves a little bit closer. Yep. Landing. Okay, so we still have some fuel left. We are at about 96 meters per second. We can reduce this substantially. Just give us the opportunity to hold on. So we're going to be falling to there. What direction are we going in? We're going in that. I want to do a little anti-normal. Perfect. Oh, fuck. Come on. Every time. Every fucking time I fucking press the Windows key by accident. Almost there we go. Now that's in direction for this. So now what we want to do, point ourselves retrograde. I'm trying to aim to go here. Alright. On a propellant looking good. Reducing as much speed as possible. Trying to just wear all this down. Still about 11 kilometers. kilometers. Just a little bitty left in here. There's the arch. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to eject. I don't know what always does that. Get the gear out and engage the engines. Motor looking good. Just some technical difficulties, folks. We'll be landing on the surface of the moon very shortly. There we go. This should at least get us properly. Yeah. Our surface speed here so that we can land nice and straight. Looking fine and divine. There we go. Looking for a nice landing here. Fuel's looking great. Drifting to the right a little. Drifting to the right a little. Coming in good, gentlemen. Just don't fuck around now. We spent a lot of money getting you to the moon. And you better not fuck this up, YR. We know how you like to fuck up a good thing. Keith, as always, never blinking. About 5 kilometers from the surface, according to our radar, which is probably off. So we've got to keep a manual eye here on the surface. Coming in. Wow, those Those crater rims are quite steep, actually. So we're controlling our descent with an actual rocket. It's going to be a challenge to try to calculate this properly here and reduce our surface speed as much as possible. 3 meters per second is ideal. Almost picture perfect. Getting a little dust. Getting a little dust. Drifting to the right. Drifting to the right. And main engine cut off. And they've done it. They've done it, ladies and gentlemen. The Misfits have landed on the moon. And it has been quite the treacherous event and harrowing event for them. So this will be called Misfit Moon Landing. And they finally did it, ladies and gentlemen. But only due to the over-engineered works from the truly most intelligent individual in the community, the engineering works of Devious Dave Kerman, was able to allow for these 3 inept individuals to land at what is probably one of the most strange locations in Kerbal. And in fact, in the shadow of the mythical arch. So they are quite impressed themselves, as you can see. They're having a ball here. So as they continue to freak out and maybe smoke a joint, we will get those ladders out, because there's work to be done. This is the site, the new site of the Community Moon Station. And we have to obviously commemorate that with a flag. So YR is going to come out first, and he's going to let go. And he falls to the ground. So YR is very proud. Yeah, you see, you're copying me being on the moon. And I'm going to plant the flag. Yeah. Plant the flag, I must say. YR is the greatest. And then this is the Misfits moon landing. And the plaque text reads, a troll, a fag, and a pedo walk into a bar. And YR now is just really relishing that he's on the moon there. He's using his lights even to shine things up. And now we're going to, let's see, let me just check the chat here. 14 people watching, nobody talking. That's perfectly fine. But Keith is kind of interested in that what's it called? Arch there. But so is Tony, because Tony's one of these dirty hippies, and he wants to check it out himself. So we're going to send YR back in there. going to send out Turncoat Tony because he wants to figure out what's going on with that arch. And being a rocket man and a space cadet himself, he already knows how to use this this rocket pack here. So it's not too good on the math calculations, but regardless, he wants to check out that arch. So there he goes, flying high with his rocket pack. But he's got to be careful, though, because he doesn't want to use it all. And his speed, well, that might kill him. Thankfully, it's got the Davetron health system built in, and it does try to monitor the life signs of the individual and attempt to assist them at every point. So, look at the size of this thing. This thing is massive. Tony didn't calculate too well the speed he came in at. But look at this. This thing is so massive it blocks out the sun. Incredible. Yeah, it's too bad I don't have my keyboard here. I'd, leave the stream and take 45 minutes to say goodbye. But wow. Let me stick that heroin needle into my arm. Yeah. Oh no, Anne Frank, no, I'll do whatever you want, Anne Frank. No, I'm a pussy. It's okay. No, it's okay. I'll do whatever you want. No. Oof, that was a close one, boys. Let me just do a little more heroin here, and well, since I found the arch, I'm gonna plant the flag. And at this site, it'll be called Moon Arch. And let's see here. Future site. Moon City. Rental space available. Inquire with it. All right, so Tony's had his fun. He had his little patchouli festival here. And he wants to get back to the ship. He needs his fucking heroin again. It's only 1.4 kilometers away. It's a fairly good location for a moon base in this crater. For the most part, fairly even ground. And it's close to the arch there, so it allows for study to be done. And we're just trying to reduce our speed here. Tony's a little bit more meticulous about this, he cuts out his lines and his heroines very accurately, so He's also very accurate when it comes to maneuvering himself on the surface of the moon. There we go. Good job, Tony. So make your way back to the lander there. Soon enough, there will be future components of the moon base that will land in that location. For you have truly made history today. Also, Community Space Command is taking calls at any point, so you can reach us on Skype at DV Stavros. Come on, Tony, pick up the pace. I know that you don't have hips like Tony, but you sure are moving like you do. Let's go, Tony. Come on, pick up the pace. So Tony's going to get back into the space capsule here. These guys have a lot of supplies that will allow them to survive for probably the next 3 weeks. So they're good to go when it comes to that. Whoops. Try that again. Board. Come on. No, no, no. Come on, Tony. You can't be that stoned. There you go. So the boys are back in their... Tony, get back in there. Fucking stoner. So YR looks over his crew, sees Stony, who's... Stony. Stony. Tony, who's totally stoned out. Can't even figure out what's going on. Looks at Keith here, who's still... Yeah, man. Yeah, whoa. Yeah. Whoa, yeah, we're on the moon. Yeah, I like the moon. Yeah. Wow, yeah. You see I haven't blinked in 36 hours? Yeah. Wow. Wire looks back at the cabinet here. I don't know what to do, Ken. I gotta pray to Ken. Ken, please, bless me. Bless me, Ken. I don't know what to do, Ken. I mean, I'm stuck on the moon with these idiots, Ken. I mean, come on, Ken. Ken, come on, Ken. So these boys, stuck on the moon. Well, not really. They just have to wait for the next shipment of the new moon base. And a glorious thing it was. So we're going to leave these boys here. And we're going to go back to our tracking station. So let's see here. We've got Cloud 12, which is now actually on the surface of the moon and in full contact of several different transmitting sites and making milestone history by locating the mythical arch. We've got the BWC, which apparently is actually close to its apoapsis of 13 billion kilometers here. And it is currently functioning at a velocity of, wow, close to 4,000 meters per second. And this will essentially sink into the sun. That will happen... I'd have to get into this to figure it out. But we adjusted the altitude so that it would just go right into the sun. But it's almost at its apoapsis here. And as soon as it starts to proceed past this, its speed will build up, and it's going to accelerate quite quickly into the sun, which is really cool. Also really cool is, this is Kerbin. That's our planet. These are all unknown objects, and these are those asteroids. Small, small, huge, small, medium, tiny. Tiny ones you can tow. The bigger ones are a little more challenging. We got Cronin Kerman, who's still at his landing site, celebrating that he was the first man to orbit. There's Community 1, which is the capsule just next to him, Kerbsat 1, doing a good job transmitting all the streams from the community around Kerbin, and Kerbsat 1 doing the same thing, reaching even down into the nether reaches. So now we fast forward a little bit in our alternate timeline, because we are now about to build a space station. And we're going to invite people from the community in there. So, if anyone's awake in the chat and you want to be on the space station, just let me know. And if you have a particular choice in regards to what kind of role you'd like to be, a scientist, engineer, or pilot, or a tourist, let me know. And we'll add you in there. Eventually, everyone's going to be picked up, as I've said in the past, they're going to be picked up by the Mars Express. And this is going to be a rocket with a club, a bar, stripper pole, fucking DJ booth, and only the most elite of the community will be allowed on that Mars Express. And after all, Mars is both the captain of that ship, and he may be the DJ. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if he's going to contract that out to Keith, and apparently Keith only needs one Bluetooth speaker system to do his thing. But let's get back to our facility. So, we now have some great fucking hardware to work with. We have the Joule 5 rocket, which can get just about anything into fucking anywhere. Okay? But we also have to we also have modules that work very well, whether it be, we go here just to keep everyone abreast. Boobies. We've got the Community 1 capsule, very powerful on its own, and very useful, which will probably be adapted for military purposes, for a fast intercept craft, or some other, Space Marine type venture. We also have Cloud 11, which is our one-way ticket to the moon and back. And it's over-engineered, so we have so much potential that we can work with this base. But we want to get, and this is the craft, this, the Cloud, well, the Cloud craft, essentially, this orbiter. Here, I'll do this. We will do, what will we call it? Naming conventions are always a challenge for me. I like to be original. Regardless, let's do it this way. This little guy here is our crew service module, CSM. And it is capable of working in the moon's orbit, in Earth orbit, or even further out. and extremely capable, just like this alone. And we can adjust it even more. So, this will be the basis of what will connect to our space station. But the space station itself, Skylab, was launched essentially independently and without one of these attached. So we're going to not save. And we're going to go to... We're not going to use this. I just wanted to quickly see it. This is the stock shuttle that's provided in the game. And yeah, it could use some work, to be honest. I could make a better shuttle, and I plan to do so. But that is the stock shuttle. Now what we're going to do is we are going to start a new craft. This will be called let's see. I need creative names here. This is going to be our space station. I guess we'll call it Clout Station. Oops. Come on. What's wrong with my keyboard? I need to get a keyboard fucking soon, because this is fucking... It's ridiculous. Actually, we'll call it Clout Lab Station. We will take the large one here. So, what we just need now is just to get the crew compartments in. This is the hitchhiker. Takes 4, I believe. Yep. For that, we're going to take batteries. Port. So that will be under structural. Let's see. Nope. Shout out to the 15 viewers we have. Save Cloud Lab Station. And now, let's see. We need some. We need a fuel tank for maneuvering. Actually, we're going to need to add a science portion of the station. So, boom, boom. Oh yeah, that's right. We need we're going to need to create something similar to Skylab. So, let's see here. Communications. Also going to want solar panels, large ones. Actually, we need something else here. Structural. Work. This might be a challenge. Might be a challenge, but we're going to go for it. work. Let's see how these things go. Either. Okay, let's see what else I can do. It's kind of looking like Skylab. I don't know if anyone knows about Skylab, but looks similar. I'm just concerned whether or not these things, once they open up, if they're gonna... It should be okay, yeah. It should be okay. Alright. So, next thing to do... we're going to add a little what are we going to add? Fuel tank and some thrusters. That should be good. And actually, we're going to do we're going to put our monopropellant fuel tanks here. trying to figure out how much we can place here. They clipped, but looks like one tank. I'm not a fan of clipping, to be honest. Beautiful. Everything nice and spaced out. We're also going to add some struts here. Again. Oops, that didn't work. Oh, that's good enough. So, next thing is we've got to get some thrusters here. Fan of the location of that. Okay, there we go. Should be fairly good for controlling this. There's anything else that we need to be adding here. there. So we got those antennas ready to go. And let's see what else. We're going to add this little generator here. Perfect. That'll be providing us an additional amount of energy. Looking good. All right, Cloud Station is ready to rock and roll. Let's see. Anything else? Solar panels, batteries. Generators. Oh, well, we've got that, yeah. Yeah, we should be good. My concern really is this. This should be enough. See, that's what we'll do. We'll add some more. I don't know if that's going to work. Now, my concern is that this doesn't have. This has limited amount of fuel for readjustment in orbit, so we'll have to get, unless we can't get something up into orbit to stabilize the station, this might not be enough to keep it in orbit. But with the Joule 5 launcher that we've got, it should be sufficient. So we're going to go for it the way it is. So now, coupling. Actually, no. This one here. Strange looking rocket. Got the hammerhead going. But yeah, that's going to get us into orbit. So now we just want to get our sub-assemblies here. They're Joule 5. Adapter. Alright, looks like Clout Station is, Clout Lab Station is ready to go. So I just have to adjust this accordingly. Alright, let's do this. And then we're going to get a shuttle up there, expand this space station, and add some permanent residents, including members of the community. So, look at this beast. We're going to time warp so that we can get into a nice, beautiful day. Activate. Oh! Oh! Well, let's revert. All I did was speed up the time, but okay. So, activate SCS, throttle up, actually we only need 40, and well, we got some jiggling already, got some jiggling. It's got to be that hammerhead. Aiming for a equatorial orbit, but we'll see what happens here. Getting a lot of wobble, a lot of wobble. Let's see if we can survive this. Nope. She's heading right for the launch pad. Again. Revert the flight. Let's go back to the launch assembly building, see if maybe we can improve this. So, let's get back to structural. See if maybe we can add a few struts here. This might improve our performance. What the fuck? Damn it, you shit. Okay, let's revert the flight and let's go back to launch. I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit. And it just falls. It's too heavy. Okay, let's go back to the assembly building. See if maybe we can adjust this accordingly. So, let's see if we remove the solid rocket boosters, if those give us the opportunity to launch. Just like the previous instance where I would not take no for an answer, and we got those boys, those misfits, onto the surface of the moon, we too shall accomplish what we are setting ourselves out to do. So we have a lot more stability now. Let's increase our thrust and throttle to maximum. Activate SAS. Now obviously we are going to have problems with this this fairing here, which is definitely not aerodynamic, but sometimes you just got to punch right through it. That's not what was supposed to happen. What the fuck happened here? Let's try that again. We're encountering some weird issues here. Because the staging is wrong. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alright. Throttle up. Proud. This is Nazi rocket science it is based on. There should be no problem. It is absolutely pure. Well, despite everything, it's still going up. Okay, what altitude do we got here? 42. So, we're going to eject the first stage, activate second, and hope that we can get up to the appropriate altitude that we need. So we're at 100. And we are going in the wrong direction. We want it to be going east, but we're going west. So we might have to change that. We still do have half amount of fuel there. So we'll be able to get this working. But quite the launch. All right, so let's insert an orbital maneuver. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. It's not going to work. Doesn't look like it's going to work. No. Revert flight. Let's go back to the assembly building, because there's clearly work that we need to do to get this thing into orbit. So, clearly the large rocket boosters didn't work, but the smaller ones should allow us to attain proper orbit. And this is definitely a heavy, what's it called, a heavy launcher and heavy station, but there are ways around this, so let's do this. Since it seems to be that our launching here has a problem, this engine, let's take this off, this engine here has a thrust of what? 2,000 in a vacuum. Okay. We need more power in the vacuum. Question is what? What are we going to utilize? That was 2,000. This is 1,500. So 2,000, 1,500, 650. So we need something more powerful. These are 1,000 each. So if I had 4, it'll be powerful. The thing is, though, these engines here don't seem to be sufficient to continue to lift this. So what we're going to do, that doesn't seem to be powerful enough. should be a lot better. Okay. That. If that will work. What I'll do is I'll create another one of these sort of stacks like this. Got rid of the one in the middle. You can't do that. I'm gonna let you do that. That's how it's done. Interesting. Doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So be it. thinking this might work. Let's give it a shot. Let's go for a nice night launch. Oh, great. Staging was wrong yet again. Alright, well, now we're going to change the staging. Save it. And now we should be good. Stage. Rockets. Eject our fairings. Apoapsis of 78 kilometers. At this point, we want to create a maneuver. We want to first get this into prograde. Apoapsis at no. Let's do this. Apoapsis, nope. second stage is gone. Now we only have this little stage to try to get us into orbit, which probably won't work. So now we get to see. I don't know what the hell this game has encountered, but it looks like it's an error. This shouldn't be happening at all. Well, mistakes were made. Space station now is falling out of orbit and burning up in the atmosphere. Funny enough, the rocket is still functioning, as are most of the systems on the fucking station. Five kilometers from the surface, actually decreasing at a substantial amount of speed. We might even be able to land. That's still coming in too fast. But hey, look at that. Came close. Came close. But there's going to need to be a massive redesign on how to get the space station into orbit. Clearly, the Joule 5 has issues when it comes to placing objects in low Kerbin orbit. So we're going to have to examine exactly why that is and how we can get this space station into orbit. But on that note, I think I've played enough for today. Had a bunch of people come in and out. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, we got those three misfits onto the moon, and they're awaiting now delivery of moon base components so that they can survive without resorting to cannibalism. So, on that note, people, thank you so much for joining us here today. I found it a lot of fun, whether you did or not. And I wish you a good day and a pleasant tomorrow.